Hey guys, listen, you already know it's your favorite host, Aisha Lewis Redway. And listen, I'm telling you, I'm always coming across and connecting with some wonderful individuals who are trailblazing and just doing their thing when it comes to the industry. And today I have no other than, let me tell you, let me give the proper introduction. Okay. These women combined have decades of working in the entertainment industry. I mean, just the accolades, just working with big name artists that's in the industry, building platforms to support women like us. And on top of that, last but not least, they are Billboard's top 100 entertainment lawyers of 2024. I want you to welcome Miss Shardé Simpson and Miss Ciara Reed. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And I'm excited to have this conversation because you guys have definitely been working and building in this industry, and we have so much to kind of dig into. And I'm super excited. I'm just very thankful to be and honored to be able to have you ladies on our platform. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Now, let's go for both of you. I want to kind of just give you, for either of you to give your backstories, because I know, Shardé, you definitely had a journey when it comes from starting off as executive assistant and then kind of moving over to Roc Nation, then, of course, Dream Chasers. Ciara, you started young as well. So we can start off with you, Shardé, in regards to just kind of giving off your background and how you really got started and kind of maneuvering into this path in entertainment.
Sure. So I think my path was not super a trajectory. I started out first, I interned at Island Def Jam Music Group, and then I went to my first job was at Roc Nation. So I started out as an executive assistant, exactly like you said, and then worked my way up to A&R admin and then the business and legal affairs department. So while I was there, I started out there were about 6 people in total. And like I said, I started out as an assistant, watched the company grow, and I was there for about 8 years, ended up leaving and then working for a boutique entertainment firm, thanks to the help of the good folks at Roc, which is where I ended up meeting Ciara, who's on this Zoom with us as well, my business partner. And I worked at that firm on the East Coast, and she worked on the West Coast. I stayed about 2 years, and then I was recruited by the good folks at Roc to come back and work for Meek. So in 2019, I kickstarted Meek's company because he was managed by Roc Nation at the time, and he was starting Dream Chasers. So I started out as vice president of operations in 2019 with this company. And during that time, I also repped the artist Her, as she came with me when I left the firm that Ciara and I were at. And so that's kind of my start. And then I stayed there, and Meek has now, well, I should say, stayed there for about 3 years. And then Ciara and I decided that we would partner and actually form a firm and became forward facing. And during that time, Meek transitioned to become one of our clients, and same with Dream Chasers, amongst other clients. And the rest is sort of history, and that's how we ended up here.
Amazing. And Ciara?
Yeah, and so just to piggyback off of Shardé's background, I guess to take it all the way back, I did child acting and child modeling to help pay the bills of my family. Realized at a very young age that I did not want to be on the talent side at all. I mean, I would sit there and complain to my mom, I don't want to do this anymore. But realized that I did want to help the talent. I saw so many people getting taken advantage of, and so decided to go to law school. So there, I was fortunate to be able to hound one of the partners at the firm that Shardé and I met at, and was able to get an internship. So I was there basically, I call them my parent firm, because it's the only firm I was ever with. And that was like 8+ years. And so was with them from the start of my law career. And from there, Shardé and I met and just really, really got along. And we intentionally, were brainstorming, plotting, what have you, that things kind of needed to change. We saw pitfalls. We saw things that just were, we just were like, this just needs to change, and if we're not going to be the ones to change it, who's going to change it? So we intentionally went out, formed our firm. And from there we became, we intentionally became referral based only, We're female founded, which we're very proud of because women in the industry in general are very underrepresented. We just trying to change things a little bit. Stirring the pot or whatever the saying is, but definitely trying to make changes because, our industry can be very, a little archaic, that's the legal industry in general. So.
Yes. I love it. Thank you, ladies, for those intros and explaining how you basically got started. And I love the fact that it's the man in the mirror concept, right? Like, if change is going to happen, it's going to start with us, right? And in order to make that, you got to step out on faith and you got to put your fear aside and start kind of, like you said, stirring that pot. Shardé, let's talk about some of the collaborations because you have had that's a recurring thing that's in your career, from working with artists, entertainers, co-founding this firm with Ciara. How do you approach building and maintaining successful partnerships and in this industry? Because clearly you ladies found the key to be able to come together and be able to build and work off a foundation.
Yeah, so I would say it's all about relationships. Relationship building is what leads to partnerships. For me, I learned at a young age through internships that relationships matter. It's not always what people can do for you, but what you can do for people. So over the years, I've been blessed enough to have people come into my life that have been very instrumental and very important to me. And I think that through those relationships, they've helped me or served as stepping stones for various stages of my life. And I think that's what I would say has helped me the most with partnerships.
All right. And then for Ciara, talk about some of the ways, because obviously I know you are a new mom. Congratulations. And being able to incorporate a lot of your legal experiences and, you coming in and, trying to work as an attorney, you're balancing your co-founding with the firm and being able to approach and advocating for clients. So talk about that. I guess I don't want to say it's just finding that balance, but finding what fits.
It brings me back to the values, the core values of our firm that Shardé and I use the word intentional because it really is like how we went about forming our firm. We intentionally were like, what are our core values? And, when we're mentoring these young female attorneys or, clients, it's what are your values and who do you want to partnership with these values? And our three core values are family, loyalty, and grit. And I say that to say that me being a new mom and having kids, and Shardé and I being super family oriented, like that's how we run our firm. Those three core values are not just fluffery. It's truly who we are and what we bring to our clients, what we bring to the associates that we hire. Again, trying to change the name of the game because it's like this industry is very cutthroat, but at the end of the day, it's like we're all human. We, everybody, has different experiences. And so trying to really hone down on what the core values of the firm are was really important for us. And so I say that to say that being a new mom, third time over, but still it's the same kind of like crazy balance trying to figure out. And it's like going back to the core values of like, what are you as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as, an advocate for women in the industry? Like, what do those hold true to? And it's the three core values of family, loyalty, and grit. So
I love that. Family, loyalty, and grit. Amazing. And so let's talk about the firm itself. Please, ladies, talk about, obviously you both had a vision. You both had some core values that is very related to each other in regards to it. Kind of talk about you implementing this from an ideal and then putting it to reality and really starting this to as a foundation to build with women and be able to help them in that sense.
Yeah, so I can kick that one off. So basically, I was on the East Coast, I'm on the East Coast, and Ciara's on the West Coast. And what was happening was we would talk all the time. She would get referrals, I would get referrals, and we give them to each other. And we became really, really good friends. So outside of being business partners, we're very close. And so because of that, we started figuring out or thinking like there's a void in this industry. Like there's a lack of female attorneys. There's a lack of just, people representation in general. And so we wanted to figure out a way that we could fill that void. So the conversation started lightly with just us, merging and helping each other on different deals. And then we decided one day that it would make sense if we made it sort of official. And less than a year and a half ago, we became forward facing. And we decided that we would help and step in and represent women in general, not just women of color, but just women in the industry. And we've received a lot of positive feedback from it as well, that we knew the void was missing, but we didn't realize until after we became officially formed how many people told us about how inspired they were by us and things like that. So
and I will say this, to jump off that, we're the only female founded co-partnered firm in the industry. I could be, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we're the only one. So, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool because it just shows that women can work as teams.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
instead of having that as a narrative of, women got to be against women and, it's always something, negative being said. I love this because, you're showing and guiding and teaching along the way and said hey, listen, we may have our differences, but listen, we know how to collaborate. We know how to build together and, put, anything aside and just really focus on what the mission is. And that's what I love.
Exactly.
Let's talk about, diversity and inclusion, because obviously that's something that's very, very important, which, a lot of people are saying that we're losing in this day and age, right? Let's talk about the important aspects of your work in the vision with Simpson and Reed. How do you prioritize these values and in your firm's culture and client representation?
Yeah, I can take that one again. So I guess to start out, back to piggyback off of what Ciara had said originally, our core values are family, loyalty, and grit. And I think that transcends to diversity and inclusion just in general. I mean, to be frank, obviously, I'm a Black female and Ciara is clearly a white female. Most recently, we've taken on a female associate, a senior associate, who is from Iraq. So we try to make sure that when we're selecting employees for the firm and staff for the firm, that we're inclusive and we're paying attention and listening to the needs of our employees, but also keeping in line with the climate of the culture and just paying attention to everything that's going on. And I think also with respect to the clients that we have, where we've most recently were general counsel for a label named Desi Trill, which is it's a record label that essentially is a partnership, and the co-founders are Shabs K and Tyron Smith, or Tata Smith, who's Jay-Z's business partner. And so their genre of music is a new genre of music, for instance, and they're combining hip hop and Indian music or Asian music. So we try to make sure that when we're choosing clients, when we're choosing staff and people that we align ourselves with, that they come from a broad spectrum, not just a single-sided view or a single place in the world. And yeah, we definitely pride ourselves in being diverse and inclusive.
And we're definitely becoming more international. Like what Shardé is saying is our clients have been reaching all ends of the earth, and so that to us is really special and amazing for us because that's what we love.
Yeah. Amazing. And obviously, when you both came together and you started this firm, and obviously you have challenges, right? You have achievements and you have these challenges. Can you both pinpoint some, those good times and those bad times, or something that be able to encourage others who are looking to kind of start and go into business or do collaborations? Can you remember those or recall those moments or best moments for you?
Yeah, I can take that, Shardé. I think that I always like to use kind of the Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to pretend it's mine, but his quote is ignore the naysayers. Because it's true. We had feedback initially where it's it's so hard to run your own firm. It's so hard to balance, being a mom and being an entrepreneur. It's so, you're always going to hear these, it's so hard. But the truth is, you just keep going. You just keep doing your thing, and things fall into line. We were super fortunate. Shardé and I were super fortunate to work with the best of the best, as far as Kanye West, Busta Rhymes, Demi Lovato,
Vic Mensa,
Vic Mensa, you name, you name it. We've been fortunate enough to run point on their team, be the senior associate on those teams. So I say that to say that you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in the experience that you have, because it's very easy to be man, I ran point on this A-list client, but do I have the capability to run around? I just, it's kind of a mind mind
over matter, whether you can really do it.
Yeah, but just realizing that at the end of the day, if there's a will, there is a way, and ignore the naysayers. That's the truth, and you'll get to what you ultimately want and desire. So, and I think Shardé and I are slowly getting there, but we're definitely getting there, because we're very similar. We're gonna make it happen.
Of course. Listen, you're winners. And of course, I'm quite sure you both, when you set your mind to something, it's ooh, we're going to get this. We got it in the bag. No problem. And I want to kind of throw a little bit of curveball. Not really too much of curveball. Of course, a lot of people always say it. It's a male-dominated industry. So to add on to that, when you're sitting there and you're seeing these challenges or these achievements in which you have done, and it's just wow, I really did this. And, how do you ladies feel about when they say yo, you really did this in this male-dominated sequence, this foundation of which a man built? How do you feel, or what do you process in regards to when those things are being said?
I'm just gonna say really fast. We have been very fortunate to have really great male mentors. Mm. We definitely empathize with it's totally male dominated. That's for sure. But we've been super fortunate to be able to have really great mentors that are female, because again, we go back to there's not a whole lot of females in our industry, so we're super grateful to them. But Shardé, I think I interrupted you. You were saying something.
No, you're fine. We think alike. We usually operate on the same wavelength. I was going to say the same thing. It's an honor to be able to navigate in this space, but to be honest with you, we would be lying if we said that we didn't have male figures in our lives that helped us to navigate and can pinpoint some of the loopholes and things that we would go through, and to teach us how to approach things in maybe a different way than a female might have done. So, it's been an honor. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. And it can be tricky though, because we definitely know that especially with, the atmosphere that's not always the case with a lot of women. Again, I say that we've been very fortunate, because we've heard a lot of horror stories and a lot of, so it's an honor to be able to help the women that have had those negative experiences, because we can't empathize. We see we're in the midst of all of this tumultuous, things that are occurring. And so to be advocates for the females, we, again, Shardé said, it's an honor.
Oh, amazing. I'm glad that, you guys were able to share that, because we don't get a lot of women that have that type of testimony to say that there were men that they were able to collaborate with to be able to get them through. So thank you so much. It's like a fresh of breath air just to kind of hear that. And then of course, for those who, just from your expertise experience, what message or advice would you like to share with, aspiring professionals looking to pursue careers in entertainment law or label operations, or just kind of set out to do what you did to be able to find that partnership to build something to help this industry today?
Sorry to keep piggybacking off of what Ciara said, but again, it goes back to ignoring the naysayers. I think when you want to do something, just do it. I know it's hard, and oftentimes you're always thinking of the cons, what's going to happen, what could go wrong. But, sometimes you just got to keep plowing through and just believe in yourself and just keep pushing through, even when people tell you you're not going to do it, or it's not possible, or it's difficult, or there's challenges. But I think anything in life worth having comes with a challenge. So I think that, you just got to keep pushing through. And I'd say find mentors, align yourself with people that have the same goals as you and values as you. Ciara and I work well because we have the same values and goals, and so they align. And even with mentorship, one of the people on our staff is one of my mentees. And so I find that people will reach out to me as well that are in law school, and I try to help as much as I can, and Ciara does the same. So just keep going forward, pushing through no matter what.
Ciara, anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I mean, Shardé speaks for us both. We are like, sometimes I joke that we think the same, like have the same brain. But yeah, just ignore the naysayers. That's truly like in a tiny little sentence, it's true. You know, if you at the core believe that you can make something happen, you just pave your own path.
All right. And ladies, of course, you know, this month we are focused on mental health awareness. And in what other way can we talk about, you know, mental health as women and, you know, being mothers and, you know, being business owners. And I kind of want to, you know, kind of dig in, and if you could share some of your personal experience and insights in regards to how do your own mental health journey has influenced your approach to supporting other women in the industry and, you know, business, personal.
I can start. Just because I just had a baby, I'll say having help around you is so important. Like I kid you not when I say Shardé is the best business partner I could have ever asked for. She makes it so that I can have a break. You know what I mean? Because her and I think so much alike. It's like another Ciara. You know, that I'm like, oh, I can step away for like a week. And to be honest with you, I love our business so much, and I love being an entrepreneur, and I love, you know, helping run this business, that it's not like a burden for me to be like, oh, replying to clients or replying to, you know, things that need to be done. For me, I'm like, this is like my livelihood, and I'm doing this because I'm doing it for my kids, to show them that like what a woman can do, what a mom can do, you know, all these things. You're an example, right? Yeah. But I think, yeah, having strong females around you is so important and helps, you know, for me. And then again, taking breaks, taking time for self-care, I think is huge. And I lean on my business partner, especially with times like this when I'm having kids. It's like, it's a saving grace. So.
Yeah. And I would say definitely self-care. And I think it's back to Ciara's point, you're only strong as your team. So you can only take self-care or practice self-care if you have a team that is, you know, able to pick up the ball if you have to step away or do things. And I think that transcends just in general, like when we have meetings or if we have to travel, if I'm going somewhere and I have to be out of the country for a client, Ciara can step in, and vice versa. Just like, you know, I was able to help when she had her baby or her babies. Same for me when I have to step away to leave the country, Ciara steps in. So it's always, and also it's very important to have a good team. Yeah.
Yeah. And also just with our team growing, you know, we've been growing very quickly. You know, it's a blessing. We didn't expect us to be growing this quickly, but you know, just with the women that we're working with now, and like our team, our extended team, it's to Shardé's point, it's you're only as strong as your team. And so we've been very blessed with being able to like be working with killer team
females.
Love it. And just really quickly, what is your top go-to for self-care? Mine's, I love a good hot bubble bath with some candles. Like close the door, husband, kids, leave me alone for a second. What's really quickly, what's your top self-care moment?
For me, it's probably working out and also massages.
Gotcha. Ciara?
I think me too. I think it's a good workout uninterrupted by kids. Ooh. I think I'm happy as a lark if you let me do that at the beginning of the day.
I love it. I love it. And once again, ladies, we're wrapping up. I thank you once again. My last question is, you know, looking ahead, what do you envision for Simpson and Reed and your advocacy work? You know, continue to contribute to being supportive in an inclusive environment for women's mental health and the entertainment industry.
Making a huge lasting impact.
Yeah.
I think that's really, I think that's truly what we want. We want to be able to leave a lineage of change.
Legacy, for sure. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Well, first of all, ladies, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to be able to sit and have this conversation with us. Please talk about any upcoming initiatives that you may have. How can, individuals get in contact with you? I know you have talked about some notes about mentorship. Is there any programs, anything that you may have that you want to put out there in regards to any initiatives coming up?
I think that for us, something that's really important to us is giving information to creatives that is not easily accessible. So we've been really active on putting videos out. TikTok may not be, lasting so long, but we definitely try to put out videos and educational things like that to be able to give people tidbits on the music industry. It's a very complex industry. Like people don't, when you're in it, you realize how complex it is, but we try to give it in bite-sized pieces. So that's definitely something that we've been really active and has been important for us to give that knowledge out as much as we can.
Yeah. And I would say even when you're in it, it's hard too, because there's little nuances and things that, some of our clients may be familiar with one aspect of, the law or the entertainment space and not others. So to Ciara's point, that's why we've been trying to give tidbits. So I would say just, make sure to follow us at Simpson and Reed on our IGs, and then you can see some of the things that we've been doing and stay connected with us that way so that we can keep the conversation going and help anybody that is in need of help or mentorship or anything along those lines.
I love it. Definitely keep the conversation going. So once again, Shardé Simpson and Ciara Reed, thank you so much, ladies, for sitting with Genius and be able to let us know what's going on, and just congratulations on your endeavors. And please keep going, because we need more women like you. Truly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Thank you.